Spiritual life is based on thought. Geranda. I read that during the Italian War, the Greeks first attempted to destroy the fortifications of the enemy, and then went on the offensive. This is what the devil does too. Just as the enemy, before going on the offensive with the infantry, will use the air force to bomb the fortifications and destroy them, in the same way the devil will first bomb a person with thoughts and then attack him directly. He will not attack until he has managed to break down the man's thoughts, because a person can defend himself with good thoughts, which are his basic protective trenches. A sinister thought is a foreign substance that a person must try to reject. This is a battle that all of us have the power to undertake. No one is justified in saying that he is weak and unable to wage such a battle. These are not heavy tools that one may not be able to raise and work with because his hands are weak and shaking. I don't think it's a difficult thing to see and take everything in a positive way. For example, why should I attempt to examine other people's peculiarities? It is quite possible that what someone is doing is not peculiar, but something that he does intentionally in order to humble himself. Geranda. I am troubled because I constantly have sinister thoughts. I do struggle, but I cannot make myself think aright. Being able to recognize which thoughts are not pure, being troubled by them, and struggling to dispel them is progress in itself. If you wish to make spiritual progress, when the devil attacks you with sinister thoughts and seeks to draw you to himself, turn the steering wheel hard away from him and ignore him. Try to have good thoughts about both the younger and the older sisters, who are carrying on an inner struggle without fanfare, because the evil one is distracting your thoughts in order to delay your spiritual progress. If you hadn't persisted in your thoughts, you would have made great spiritual strides by now. All spiritual life is based on thoughts. Progress in spiritual life depends upon our thoughts. Geranda. How can I be helped in the struggle against these sinister thoughts? With vigilance and unceasing prayer, if you are vigilant, then you are attentive to good thoughts. For example, you look upon a glass or cup and you recall the sacred chalice, the Last Supper, Christ, and so forth. Whereas if you are not vigilant, your mind may wander off to consider non-spiritual things or even wretched things. For this reason, try not to gather useless thoughts, which you will later struggle to get rid of. Concentrate and say the Jesus prayer. And if your mind wanders, call it back again and again. Do not allow your mind to wander, for even if the mind is not always preoccupied with evil things, but merely neutral things, these too nevertheless will neutralize the mind with useless and wasteful distractions. In fact, the thoughts created from such distractions can be more insidious than the outright evil ones, because we do not always directly recognize them so as to dispel them. Geranda. My thought tells me, you have not made any progress after all these years in the monastery. Tell me, what else does your thought tell you? It seems you pay a lot of attention to the devil who whispers things to you and tries to deceive you. Why do you believe the evil one? Why do you confuse yourself? Be at peace. You worry in vain and torment yourself without reason. The demon presents things in a confused and tangled manner. He fogs your mind with pessimistic thoughts in order to waste your time and distract you from prayer and attention to your daily tasks. Even if you are only a little confused, just enough to take away your desire to fight him, This alone is enough for him to be promoted to a higher rank. When working alone, try to follow this rule. Sing psalms, doxologies, and verbal or silent prayer of the heart, in order to avoid the murmur of thoughts. In other words, try to turn your thoughts to God. Since the devil changes the subject of our thoughts in order to deceive us, why shouldn't we do the same thing? I've told you this before. When I'm speaking with someone and am about to say something which may be useful to him, someone else will come to interrupt, or there will be some distracting sound or something else that forces me to stop. If the tempter, the devil, devises such machinations against us, why should we not similarly devise our own defensive mechanisms? You must be intelligently vigilant in outsmarting the little devil. Geranda. I am troubled by sorrow, by listlessness. I am tormented by it. This is martyrdom before the martyrdom. You are placing too much trust in yourself. Self-confidence. Certain sinister thoughts have become entrenched in you, and this is why you are being thus tormented. You need to think straight. You have to remove the worn-out machinery of your mental factory and install good machinery. The best enterprise is for someone to establish a factory of good thoughts. Then even bad thoughts will be transformed into good ones by his mind. For example, when you look upon a person as a soul, as an angel, you can ascend angelically to heaven and your life becomes a festival. But if you look upon a person in a carnal way, you descend into hell. Geranda. Sometimes when I think of something good and positive, a sinister thought will soon come to destroy everything for me. Could it be that I don't do this from my heart? The goal is to do it from your heart, and if you have a sinister thought, say, "This thought is a stranger. I must send it away. I have signed the eviction, it's gone. It's out of my mind." Geranda. When I have taken great effort in expelling a bad thought, how is it that it returns again after it's been dealt with? Yes, the subject may have been dealt with, but the little devil has not finished. The devil never dies. An elder monk used to say, "If you kick a dog a couple of times, it will go away." But the devil does not go away. He persists with his attacks here, there, everywhere. I light a candle to the saint of R. Kelly to make him go away. And the demons ask me, "Did you light the candle for us? You trash, why would I light a candle for you? I lit it for the saints." "Yes, but it was we who made you light it," they tell me. Geranda. When a misfortune happens to someone and he begins to say, "Why, O God, has this happened to me?" can that person be helped? How can he be helped? The first thing is for a person to interpret everything with good and positive thoughts. Only then can he be helped. Some people have a good machine, many prerequisites for a spiritual life, but their steering wheel is faulty and leads them in the wrong direction. If they turn the steering wheel in the direction of good thoughts, then they can proceed steadily in the right direction.